Dave, you remember when I asked you to change the batteries in the smoke alarms? You forgot, didn't you? Yeah. Welcome back to the Virtual Realms YouTube channel. I'm Ranger One, and we are working on the Hidden Lake Community Center. I've decided that's what it's going to be because I think that this location and this building works best as something that a group of people would perhaps want to use for the purposes of this video and really for my own personal amusement. I have furnished this base as if it was just going to be used by me. Obviously, most folks are going to equip it to sustain a small group of players on the island map, but you get the idea. We're starting to beautify the place a little bit. I thought this koi pond was kind of a nice touch, although I may have a little bit too much in the way of accent lighting. I'll have to look at that a little more closely. The kitchen area is, I thought, rather nice. I've used a bar from the Tavern Decor mod to go ahead and get me a kitchen counter. I think it'll work out pretty well for a large group of people. And the central area will probably be a gathering table underneath that chandelier, somewhere where everyone can meet and sit down, pretend to eat, play cards. I don't know. We'll see. We'll fill up the space somehow. You're going to do with it whatever works out best for you. My personal quarters, I'm not going to put a lot of work into it. This is probably where most people are going to put their bunk beds and lots of storage so that when you spawn in, you'll have all your equipment handy. I'm not going to spend, as I said, a lot of time and effort on that. It's a space set aside for that, and I think it works rather well. This will probably be your workroom. I'm going to turn it into a small stable, although I'm not sold on the tech gate and the tech hatch overhead. I think I'm going to change that. The rear deck is roughed in. You will probably be here while I upgrade that because I'm not entirely satisfied with how it's working. And there, I've got my trike power plant there at the back and a transmitter from the S Plus mod, just in case you need it. That little pond is using Eco's water foundations from her Garden Decor mod. That low spot just looked like a place for rainwater to collect, and I thought, we can. Why not make it look right? Let's pop back in for a second. As you can probably tell, I love the sliding glass doors from the OzoCraft mod. I've used them extensively throughout the build. And there's a little entertainment nook that I have set up. All in all, the basics are in place. All the different levels are in. Now to fill up all this space. But first, we've got a few details that we're going to have to take care of. I wanted to have you guys along for the ride as I refine this build. But one overriding consideration that I want to keep in mind at all times is to preserve this view. It really is a great view of the Hidden Lake area down below. And at least from this floor, I want it to be kind of the center point of the build. Over to my right, well, we'll see how that works out. I've got some ideas. I'm not real happy with how that's working at the moment. The main problem that I have right now with the front of the community center is that SteamPunk overlook platform. It just doesn't fit in as well as I'd hoped it would. So I think it's going to have to go. And I think I'm going to sacrifice this view a little bit to put a deck out front. It should give you an even better view when you want to look down at the lake itself. And we're going to stick with the OzoCraft ceiling pieces here. I just like the looks of them. They're perfect for a deck. And we're going to carry that on around the side of the building and all the way back to the back deck. Now it's true, you'll lose your view while staying inside, but that's what this upper level is for, in case you want to stay in out of the rain. Now the trick with this deck is going to make it look substantial, like it's solid, well built, and well supported. Let's take just a minute and fix that. Alright, I've added 3 pillars from Orion Sun's Pillars Plus mod, and I put an extra layer of ceilings down here, but well, it just doesn't look substantial enough. So we're going to get rid of the extra ceilings. We're going to have to do something a little bit different instead. And while we're at it, we're going to cover up where these pillars meet the bottom of the deck. It just doesn't look quite right the way it is now. Instead, we're going to use the half walls that come with the Ozocraft mod and put a lip around the bottom of the deck platform. Once I'm done with this, we're going to cap off the bottom and see if we can make it look like a good, sturdy, solid construction, well supported underneath by those pillars. Now that's done, and it's time to hide the bottom. Unfortunately, there are no snap points on the bottom of these half walls, but that's easily worked around. We'll put another half wall right below the first one, and now we've got a snap point that should allow us to put in another level of ceilings here to hide what we want to hide. And a few seconds later, that level is complete, and the only thing left to do is remove this little half wall here, and everything stays in place almost as if by magic. Yeah, I think that turned out better than I expected it to. What do you guys think? Would you have done this a little bit differently? Or do you possibly think that that's a little too much deck? Well, let me know in the comments below. Man, if only it were that easy to build a deck like that in real life. As promised, the Tek gate is going away, and that Tek hatch in the roof is going to go away too. To replace them, I'm going to use the dynamic gates from the Structures Plus mod. That way I can get them exactly the right size for this build. And I'll put a ramp going up to the gate. I'll lose a little bit of interior floor space, but it's something a little bit different. And it'll give the impression of being very, very secure. We'll take a look at that and how it turned out at the end of this video. But I wanted to take a quick break. And, well, you know me. I don't consider any build complete unless I've tinkered a little bit with the surrounding ecology. And to that end, I have used the Simple Spawners mod to put a spawn marker down in the bottom of the valley. Right now it's in the middle of the lake. And it's generating a wider variety of animal life than would normally be present there. I'm still playing around with exactly what species are there. We'll figure it out as we go along. One feature of this mod that I'm playing with for the first time are nests. Each nest will pick randomly a creature that is in the surrounding area and generate an egg for that creature. It also pulls a pair of those creatures over to the immediate vicinity of the nest so that they can guard the egg. That's kind of interesting. And it changes up the pattern of wandering throughout the area. I thought I'd give it a whirl. You know, I had it in my mind that I was going to expand this deck and put a jacuzzi in for my own personal use, but, well, since this really is going to be a community center, a jacuzzi, well, it's not exactly practical. So why don't I just put in a whole full-size swimming pool instead? Just the thing for a hot summer's day. Well, I've spent some time putting the finishing touches to this place, and I don't want this video to run too long. So I guess it's time to take a look at how it all came together. All the little details and bits put in their place. I hope you like it. So I tell the rest of the team, look, I know we had the guy down and we almost had the gauntlet off his hand, but I blew my cool. What can I say? I'm sorry. Oh, wait, I gotta go. I'll tell you the rest later. Hey guys, welcome back. The build turned out fairly nice, I think. But what do you think? Would this build work as a community center for you and your tribe? Well, properly outfitted, of course. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If by chance you did like this build, now would be an excellent time to hit the like button. And if you're new here, there's a subscribe button floating around down there as well. Now it's time for me to draw this episode to a close, but let me leave you with this parting thought. If you truly love someone, don't be afraid to let them go, but keep their streaming passwords forever.